So, Jeanne and Catherine, can you talk a little bit about how researchers like yourself translate your research in higher education to everyday learning?
Yeah, thanks, Michael. That's a great question for us to think with together. I think for us, our research and our teaching is always moving back and forth. And so the things that we do perhaps in our research sites, so in early childhood centres and in primary schools, often find their ways back into our higher education classes. So,
Hmm.
for example, Jean and I this semester are teaching a subject called Inquiry and Project Learning. And so we are using our research with students around learning with place to generate our classes. And students are creating their assessments based on our research and
Okay.
are really highly engaged in the activating of those ideas in their everyday. So, for example, one of our key ideas is create a strong relationship with your local place. So, think about your local place not just as a nice place to go for a walk, but somewhere that you truly connect with over time. So, we've asked our higher education students to take those practices into their everyday, to pay attention to their local places, to look at sky country, to look at which plants are blossoming, which birds are living with the trees. So, and then they bring that noticing and that information back into the inquiry process in the classroom. Jean, do you want to add some more to that?
Sure. So I think our project Learning with Place, which is about generating positive climate action in real simple ways where children and teachers and communities learn how to build deep relationships with local place. Because as we understand that climate change is about the lack of relationships between humans and the planet. And so we see that teaching is always political, right? And it's always about action and it's always about engaging with teachers as agents of, or supporting teachers to become agents of change. And so in our research project, we first work with teachers and they generate innovative practices in their context, in their local place. So it's very specific to them. And in Australia, that first means understanding the First Nations worldviews and knowing whose country you're on. So they always start there. And then those teachers, they build their generative or they generate their innovative pedagogies, and then they teach the children. And the children and the teachers co-participate together and they generate their innovative pedagogies of learning with place and about building those relationships. And then the children and the teachers, they work with their community to then build another set of innovative pedagogies. And those pedagogies become something that happens in the everyday. And we bring that stuff into our teaching. So into our Masters of Teaching Early Childhood, which is an initial teacher education course. And then in our online uh, uh, graduate diploma in early childhood teaching, which has a focus of foregrounding First Nations worldviews and sustainability. So again, those things are throughout teacher education and are about generating teachers who are agents of change.